Also, another attribute of the marketing is some more social networking using social media. I think I can show you. There is some blogging going on right here on the web page, preceded with some Facebooking, Google mapping. They don't use Twitter, as they say it's for too young people. This is not the target group. But YouTubing is used. And the next step would probably be to go to Second Life, buy some real estate there, and start building and selling their boats. Well, is this innovation? What do you wise guys say? Wow. So it is innovation. Okay. But for marketing, marketing is really what the boatyards can do. They can cope with it if they do it together. But this is not the case for R&D, because this is hell expensive. And no boatyard will establish an institute for R&D of small crafts. But this is where some more social networking with another network comes to the picture. Those red-colored names here form actually just another network, a network of the local institutions whose aim is to develop Saare County as a whole. And when this cluster network and the institutions network attached, then there arose an idea or a project of small craft engineering. We are planning it, but this is really just another triple helix model. René, can I think so?
Sure.
We are just planning the competence center yet. It is not working yet. But our hopes are very high, and we are optimistic we can start building and hiring in the end of the next year. But what the competence center does, well, it kind of solves the boatyard's R&D problems, but it also gives us a pressure of being more international. So today, what we have got from the networking of boatyards is that the sector is known. It is known in Estonian level, but somewhat it is also known in Sweden and in Finland and in Holland, and we know that from boat shows again, and the statistics of our website. But the Competence Center will just urge us more to go more international, and we really hope that it will bring us to a situation where Saare County is known more, where we can get more investments here. And the Competence Center should make, or will, I'm absolutely sure of it, it will make the university and college stronger. And of course, it will again help the boatyards with the R&D. So the case is, I hope it is a beginning of a beautiful success story of the local boatyards. And well, the center picture there, I put it, it doesn't really suit there, but I put it there because I wanted to ask you, do you know what it feels like to be inside triple helix? I guess it's something like in the washing machine. Everything is turning around so fast, nobody really knows what's going on, but there is always a light in the end of the tunnel, so you keep going. So that's about Saarema's boatyards. Thank you.
Thank you, Anni. Thank you also for providing an excellent example of real-life example how clusters operate and how they actually make innovation more happen. So questions?
Actually, one question. When I looked at these different institutions and different sectors on this cluster, I was wondering where is the Ammatti school who actually teaches the boat builders? Are they part of
Ammatti koulu? This is Ammatti koulu.
Okay.
Amatikoulu is in the picture. We call it the Regional Training Center.
Okay. When did you start this? Who was the one?
The trigger, several university, local college, without no question.
So you were like actively taking.
Well, the college was conducted the survey. The college was bringing the boatyards together for first times. We're giving the cluster development project and different possibilities because the boatmasters, you know, they were hard at work building boats. They can't do it by themselves.
Yes.
Just wondering, from your experience, as many of you have described, clusters provide synergy and therefore profit and success to the companies. But have you ever met with the threat of losing companies, so to say, age? When they are cooperating, aren't they afraid that they may lose
Sure.
business secrets or something?
Sure, so that's normally the first phase of kind of cluster initiative formulations, that you see that there's some sort of problem, but then you're afraid of cooperating with other companies because you think that they somehow will get your know-how or competitive advantage. I'm sure Anni can tell you in more details how the cluster activities were getting going in both clusters. But that's a very common phenomenon for all cluster initiatives. At first you have this fear, oh, I should stay out of it because I want to keep my knowledge myself. And then step by step you see that, well, there are models of cooperation which don't necessarily make you lose your competitive advantage, but you can possibly or potentially win more or win kind of significantly more. Perhaps Anni would like to comment how did you manage to overcome, I remember that you told me that some of the boat builders or boat yards were not very so to say optimistic from the beginning, and I think still some stayed out completely, they didn't join. So tell us something how you managed to bring the people not only to the same table but to the same project where they have to pay
using the same money.
Yes.
Well, that is the case. That I think that maybe it's always so that the big ones stay out and very little ones stay out, because the big ones don't really have the problem so urgent. But now we have the situation when I suppose due to the competence center, the big one is also coming and participating on this project. So this is really a question of interest, and sometimes it is also a question about the company strategy, because well, the problems with the image of the region are the problems for the boatyards who produced Estonian trademarks. The boatyard who produced Swedish trademark here, it is not a problem. It's different strategy, and you have to accept it. There was no struggling or bad feelings about it. Everybody understood that.
Just to give you a practical advice from cluster consultant point of view, it's not a good approach if you want to start a cluster initiative. What many people think that what we need to do is present their kind of nice results of the research, whether in terms of Porterian diamond or some SWOT analysis, and then hoping that everybody will realize themselves that we need to cooperate. This can be a very good starting point, but what you must follow up is normally you have to offer people together a glass of wine or glass of beer and let them just talk to each other. That's I must say, as most of really cooperation starts, not by Porter or one other analytical framework, but just bringing people together, making sure they have enough to drink and keeping them together until they start talking to each other. And that's one of the easiest ways.